Okay. Yeah, you're on.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jaleesa Monroe. And my story was Enough to the Spider the Python. And a little bit about this story. Basically, it was about, obviously, Enough to the Spider. And he was just kind of sitting around one day and, while he was watching the people, and they were bored. And he was like, well, what can I do to kind of spice things up around here? So he went to the guide, Anani, I think that's how you pronounce it. And he went to the guy Anani and asked him, he said, hey, you have a box of stories, can I have them so I can bring them back down to the people and, let them know what's going on? Oh, well, entertain them, sorry. To entertain them. And so Anani was like, you can only do it if you pass these tests. And what he had to do was he had to catch five different creatures. One was the python. That was the first creature that he actually brought back. Was the python. It's like, how does the spider catch this python? Then he had to catch the hornet and a couple more, with a leopard and a couple more animals. So this little spider guy, Nancy, he went and he conquered all of these different animals. The spider did, and he brought them back up to heaven to Nani, and he was like, well, since you've done all this, you've done the one thing that most kings couldn't do across the lands for many years, I'm going to award you these stories. So that's what he did, and he took the stories back to the people. So that's what this story was actually about. And so, I'm sorry, I use watercolor paper, so it like never sticks to my wood. But anywho, so I decided to do the hornet, which was one of the creatures he had to catch, and the snake, or the python. Anani, the god, the griot, which is actually the narrator, the storytelling, which I'm pretty sure you guys have heard that already through their presentation. Anansi on this side here, and his wife down here. Those are what I did. And I guess I kind of fashionalized most of my concepts more so than costumealized them. I don't know if this word, but it is today. So I kind of fashionalized them more so than customized them, I'm really into like patterns and textiles. So for the hornet, I kind of made her, she probably is the one with the most costumey look. As far because I made her with the wings as well as the hornet, the red hornet's tail or stinger, which was brought up in the story. And her bottom here, as you can see, she's kind of shaped like a hornet. So the bottom is actually a nest, like a hornet's nest that you would see. So I kind of tried to interpret that in the design here, and just kind of made like some stingers for her, kind of top part. I thought it was kind of interesting, so I tried that out. Down here for the python, this is not actually a python, but I love the colors, and I kind of play with some of the typical colors that you would see associated with Africa, Africans or whatever. And so I just kind of made like two different snakes just to kind of give it an interesting type of design on it. The outfit, and she has dreads, kind of, stuck to the thing here. Now, Anani, I made him, I got him from a lion. I decided to make him a lion because, stereotypically, the lion's the king of the jungle. We're in Africa, whatever. So, so I tried to make it the Igbo tribe, it's really where I got my inspiration from. In Nigeria, they use a lot of feathers and holes and beads and stuff. So what I did was, these are actually feathers here. Even though he's supposed to be a lion, but, tribal thing. And just kind of made it like really, really big and poofy. And he also has like a little staff as well. And just kind of put a little print on his clothing as well. But of course he's a guy, so he can't have that many prints. He has to be nice and clean. So that's what I did. The griot here, which is the narrator, historically they're very close to the I'm using the wrong word, but they're very close to the kings and, you know, everybody, the royal family. So they know all, they are actually the storytellers. He is the storyteller of this particular story. So he still would kind of have a nice, clean, royal look to him. And so I did that with him, just something nice, neat, very clean. But I also, here at the top, as you can see, it's like kind of webbing, which is what I was saying. They have, the Igbo tribe has the clothes with the holes in them, so they kind of look like webs. So I decided to put that on him as well, which actually ties him into Anansi, because he wanted to be a storyteller. Griots, they are storytellers, but they can also change the story. So it's a web of lies kind of thing going on there. Get it? Okay. And Anansi, like I said, he has the webbing up here with his, and I also just kind of put like a spider design as well on his cloth at the bottom. I forgot what it's called, sorry. His cloth at the bottom, and I put a spider on it, you know, just to kind of symbolize that he is the king spider at this point, because he has conquered all of these big animals, you know. But I kept him really, really simple as well, because he's kind of a nobleman in a way in this story. And his wife, I wanted to jazz her up a little bit, and kind of, I think she's my favorite design actually. And so what I did with her was she has a little webbing at the top, which also ties her into him. She helped him come up with all of the ideas to capture all the creatures. So I was like, she has a couple of little webs of lies going on herself. She's a little crafty. So I decided that's how I was tying them two in together. And of course I played with the African, you know, red, green, red colors with her as well. But if you can see close, it's like she has little small things. You probably have to be closer to her to actually see it. As far as her hair, like it kind of comes down like, you know, fangs that a spider would have, just to kind of turn her into a spider. And I also gave her like a little small little box, you know, kind of like the box that her and her husband were trying to get from Anani with the stories in them. So I was like, she's a crafty little lady, so she probably has stories to tell her own self. So that's kind of where that concept came from. But that's pretty much it as far as my statement.
Any questions?
I'm devastated. It makes me so mad. Okay.
So I think my favorite, I love the Hornet. I told you that yesterday. And I love the misses there. With the detail that you put in, they're really great. You also show a lot of texture and how that would be interesting to build as far as costume is concerned. And we talked a little bit about the python and how her movement would be very restrained, controlled, and that's kind of what you were going for with wrapping that around herself. Yes. Yep.
The visual connection between the griot and Anansi, that's really creative.
Thank you. I got this from Senietta, the story.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it's an African story. I love this story.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, that was.
That's quite a picture of the griot there, the actual photo. That guy would be an amazing guy to meet.
I'm sure he'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like there would be a very interesting conversation.
That's a story. That's a story right there, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Anybody else? No? Okay, well done. All right.